Kopil, now we'll discuss the Malfide purpose of manufacturing some false stories. The Malfide purpose of manufacturing some false stories. On one side the marriage story, other side the so-called story of the Great Escape. As if Shishir Bose is driving the car in the midnight and Subhash Chandra is going out of the Elgin Road. They are all false stories.
One is that I don't call it as an escape.
Yes.
And that's why in the museum which I went in Delhi,
Yes.
I wrote there, he left the police sleeping.
Police sleeping.
Okay.
Okay.
Now the question here is, the more I have worked on it, I tried to look in the newspapers that after his escape, this escape which the British had called, Shishir was never arrested at that time.
41, 42, 43,
He is arrested later on.
44.
He is arrested later on. Now the question comes, whenever Netaji was asked this question in Japan also, Dr. Kasliwal has also,
Yes.
and some other.
Also press.
Why don't you? He said, look, there are many people alive. There are many people alive, and I don't want to risk their lives.
Moreover, in one place he has told.
Which means that there were many others who helped him.
Yes.
And on the basis of that, when I started looking in my research, I came across a write-up in a Punjabi thing by Master Tana Singh, San Sipai. This is, I think, February 46, if I am not wrong, in which he writes that the person who had accompanied him up to Peshawar came back and told him he has safely crossed over to Afghanistan. And then these people, in some coded language, sent the message back to Bengal, Calcutta, and then the family declares that he's disappeared on 26th January, I think they declared, because he was too.
And newspapers 27.
Course on 27 or something like that. That's one. I came across a CIA report which said that Bose left by the back door of his house. Okay. Now, as a historian, I will not corroborate the other thing which I am going to say. I have been told by three persons, three very senior persons, who I won't speak lies, that the car that he crossed the Hooghly by boat and the car which took him up to Goma was the car of this family, Kapil Dev Singh's family car. But I'm not corroborating this. But I'm saying this, I've been told, because this family is quiet. Kapil Dev Singh will say this in private, but he won't come out to say that. Then, one thing is clear, he was not allowed alone in the train. He must have sat alone in the train as Jayauddin, but there were some Sikhs also, and there was this Rahmat Ali's person from Peshawar also, who were accompanying him in the train. Then in between there is a other story, again we don't have evidence, but there was some Nawab in this area of Delhi, beyond Narayana, Nazafgarh, those areas, which says that he had broken the journey over there and they had supported him and all when he went through that, where this Azad Gram is made as a museum, small museum over there. So these aspects are there. Then in newspapers we don't find anything. But most crucial in this is that since Netaji is constantly saying that people are alive, they are there, it very clearly means that there are quite a few people involved in this whole plan. I came across another aspect also, that the thing was financed by some Jain person. The records were there in some Jain mandir, now no more there with the family, who will finance this thing. And one more thing is very clear, that this going of Netaji was not a sudden thing. Anand Mohan Sai has clearly written that when this was being decided there to form the INA, much before the formation of INA in 1940 itself, Sai's wife, Sati Sai, came to India with her two daughters and met Netaji. And it's a very interesting story. They say that to get permission for Sati to go to India, The Sai couple kept fighting for 1 month very loudly so that the neighbors could hear that there's something wrong and they are going to divorce or something, so the British don't object to that, are going there. And then there's this other story of another person who came by a pseudo name, I think Arun Bose or something, Arun Datta or Bose, name is there, who came with the letters and some documents from Rashbihari Bose and Sahai. First he went to Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad said, "This is not my area, you go and talk to Nehru and Azad." Then he went to Azad, and Azad was very angry at him. He was some CID fellow who has come to know our plans and all, and you'll get us all arrested, so get out. And same was done by Nehru. Nehru is right saying that as your Sahai and Sahai gone mad when he joined in with the fascists in getting India independence and all, and Nehru tore those papers also. But this man went back and reported that contact had been made by Netaji, and Netaji has approved of this. So this makes a lot of things, you know.
I'm adding something. The story is Shishir Bose in midnight.
I know the story. Took out the car. You see, I don't limit it. I don't rule that out also. But I will say, Netaji, knowing Netaji's intelligent mind and planning, it is also possible that instead of Netaji, someone involved with
Someone else
went out with Shishir in the car.
Yes.
To keep a deception,
to deviate the eyes of
the police and all,
maybe.
and Netaji moved out from the back.
A different line.
Different.
Technique. One thing. The car name plate was not changed, signboard was not changed, color was not changed. Shishir Bose never camouflaged. No camouflage.
And this car was a known car of their family.
Known car. Number three. Bose was arrested. This Shishir was arrested long after. Before that, on this episode, anyone is arrested and tortured in jail. Someone is killed. Now, number three. He is telling it was midnight 16th January. Before that, his story was 17, somewhere he has told 18. And whenever he is writing, Mohan is shown in Bengali and Gradescu in English after 1970. His days had changed to 16th midnight.
You see,
midnight. But now see, what, and in these volumes, only personal narrations, no corroboration. No. But this is not, it cannot be legal document, it cannot be evidence. A story can be history only when this is corroborated from different angles. Come to other angle. Pradeep Bose, another nephew of this family of Subhash Bose, legally deposing on oath in Justice Khosla Commission. Shishir Bose's story, why Shishir has opened the mouth?
No.
He must be under oath of secrecy. What is his interest? He is doubting. Moreover, he is telling none had seen uncle after 12th January in Elkenjo. Moreover, Shatya Boksi, who is more credible in history of India, he is telling after 12th none has seen. Moreover, Sunil Das, more credible revolutionary history, telling after 12th he was not there. Even
you see this
in depositions and in parliament, the barrister parliamentary revolutionary, he is telling on 3rd January I met Subhas in Elgin Road and he has left India on 13th. Moreover, Kobi Guru in his writing, if you decode Badnam, that short story, that decoding will tell you Subhas Chandra has left Calcutta in somewhere between 12th and 13th.
You see why
evidence.
Why I say this? Now this thing collaborates with the story of that Nawab in Delhi.
Yes.
That he stayed there for 2 days. Okay. And there is a delay in his reaching Peshawar. The day which he was saying, he reached the next day.
And moreover, in 1970, Shishir Bose is writing to Indira Gandhi for papers how his uncle has left Calcutta towards you.
What would Indira Gandhi have on that? Except from the
why he is writing this letter?
After the except from the
that means Shishir is a and
see, my question is this, let me tell you.
Shishir was in one sentence. Shishir was made popular to the people of this India
Through that.
by this story,
No,
so that by him other false stories can be propagated.
I'll tell you something else also. It is not just this thing, you know. There are certain other things also which are coming out of the this thing. First is, why Shishir had to wait for so long to write this after
To
47?
70.
Okay, why? And I'll collaborate this with that foolish statements of Captain Lakshmi Sen. Okay, to this foreign author, she says, once Netaji was alone with me and he told me about his relationship with Emily, and I then in a way counseled him what he should do and all.
I have told you,
What a rubbish!
scoundrel
See,
lady.
what a rubbish I tell you. Okay, you opened that in 2009 only. The way you claim in 2008 that you were the author of that Jai Hind, the diary of a rebel daughter by Mrs. M, written in 45 and published in 45 September, and you call it a fiction. Each and every word of the diary which is written is the best
This
one
lady is
given
a
by that.
scoundrel lady.
You see, so these things, then changing her statements and all. So this is, I think, after this fellow Saugat goes, you know, this family takes all the benefits of going to Harvard and someone joining the Commonwealth, and now changing the story 2 years back on the ashes thing, and now they suddenly believe in ashes. Chandra Bose is on record with me. At 2 places when we lectured. No ashes, no plane crash.
Yes.
You know, you won't believe that. Surya Bose sent me a mail from Germany when I was making the museum. How can you write that he died in the plane crash? I said, who told you? I have not even reached that stage. What are you going to write? I said, I am going to write that he disappeared. Oh, that's fine. That's how I ended the
And now in Calcutta High Court, your epitome is?
You know, I do that. You see, because, you see, I believe in one thing. I say that, look, history is not something static. There's not something final. The way I discovered. People say Gandhi didn't like Bose, so he was done away with Tripoli. No! It is much more to that now. And people didn't read it again. K.M. Munshi in his book wrote that the Viceroy sent him a secret file.
Yes.
Okay, in which is what written that Bose as Congress President has been in touch with the Japanese consulate here in Calcutta, and I was asked to show that file to Gandhi since I was close to Gandhi.
Gandhi had agonized.
And Gandhi was
Agonized.
agonized, and then the file was sent to the
Back to.
Viceroy.
Yes.
And then Gandhi's opposition started.
Yes.
On the presidency.
And this K. Munshi is telling this to press in 1960.
And Rajmohan Gandhi himself has repeated this Munshi's thing. Why would Rajmohan Gandhi repeat this if it is wrong? Okay. And this is not the first thing. I corroborated it by showing many other instances that how Irvin and Lithgow, they would approach Gandhi via Birla and get things done. This happened in relation to the Kisan Sabha movement. This happened in 1930-31. All instances I have given in my books, earlier books also, but I have quoted those books again in my earlier book. This used to happen. And you know the last thing I tell you, 15th August, when Mountbatten is being begged by Nehru to release these prisoners, release these INA people, I won't be able to show my face. And Mountbatten says that they will be, why don't you release now, 15th August is coming. So then Auchinleck says, the Commander-in-Chief, that I will reduce their punishment to the level of that punishment as Commander-in-Chief, which is of the other criminals who are being released that day. And not only that, they stop at that. Nehru agrees that there will be no welcome processions for them. So this is how news come to the Viceroys. INA wanted to be in the parade on 16th August in Red Fort. Auchinleck and Mountbatten both opposed it. Nehru agreed. These poor people were standing outside and beating a drum with Netaji's photograph on a lorry over there outside. Over there, all these things. So, this kind of collaboration between these people, I sometimes wonder who was that British MP, I'm forgetting her name, who said that he's our most loyal policeman in India.
Oh, that's been quoted by Netaji himself.
And I like to say one thing, whichever people forget, because the way history has been distorted and put before the people. You, the founder father of the Congress,
Oh, yes.
had made a statement that a safety wall was needed for the British Empire
Yes.
against the actions generated by our own.
Yes.
Because they never wanted a repetition of 1857. From 1885 till 1947.
More
Sir,
national.
1 second. 1885 to 1947, Congress played that role faithfully of the safety wall for the British
Yes.
against the revolutionaries,
Yes.
against Azad Hind Fauj,
Yes.
naval uprising, student movements, Kisan movements, worker movements. Every year,
Everything.
Congress played that role of the safety wall and got dominion,
Yes.
giving all benefits to the
British.
Nehru has said at one place, I think that was that interview to that American ambassador Gallivant. Perhaps I am the last British to rule over India. Besides his other sayings.